It had been raining for 7 days straight. Streams of water washed down the large office window on the 71st floor. John Glock hated the rain. It complicated his job unnecessarily, and for reasons he did not understand, also gave him headaches. It was late and only 1 or 2 people were scuffling around in the conference room. He was waiting for a call. Someone anonymous had been contacting him lately. Someone with a scratchy, slow voice that claimed that he had intel on an underground AI group. He thought that the call could be fake, but he couldn't chance it. So he waited. His device rang. Glock answered. "Hello?" The guy on the other side coughed. "Glock, is that you?" "It's me. Listen, Zero." Glock cringed when he heard himself say the man's name out loud. The guy had obviously given him a fake name, something that hinted at the secrecy and significance concerning the information he purported to have. Glock didn't read spy novels and he didn't enjoy action flicks. He just wanted to do his job. But this guy, this idiot called Zero, was making a mockery of the thing he dedicated his life to, the extermination of robots. He clenched his fists as he thought about the absurdity of it all. "Listen," he said, this time leaving out the man's name. "It's time for you to give me something solid." "I have it," Zero said. Glock continued. "I've listened to enough of your claims. I need something solid." "I said I have it." Glock leaned back in his chair. "You reckon I should believe you?" "Meet me at Adam Street in an hour." The deserted parking lot. Zero hung up, not waiting for Glock to confirm. Glock cursed wickedly, throwing the device to the table. Who does this guy think he is? But he had to follow the lead, no matter how absurd it seemed. There was a single flickering light in the corner of the abandoned parking lot. Glock wasn't afraid. Instead, he was angry. Who was this man called Zero that made him skulk around the city on a cold, wet night? He glanced around the lot but saw nothing. He approached the light cautiously. His gun was at his side, still holstered, but he had his hand on the grip. Behind one of the concrete pillars, the slightest shadow caught his eye. "Hey, show yourself," he said. Glock got no verbal response, so he approached. "Stop there," a voice said when he was a few meters away. "Zero?" he asked. "Is that you?" The man appeared from behind the pillar. He was wearing a trench coat and a sports cap. "Almost got it," Glock said. "What?" the man asked. "What I mean is this. You almost got it right, but not quite." The man called Zero was confused. Up until this point, he'd had the upper hand. Glock had thought that there was a chance that the lead was legit. He'd taken Zero seriously. But seeing this clown in his half-wit detective's outfit was proof enough that there was no real lead and that he could have his own fun in turn. This guy, Zero, whoever he was going to pay. Not with his life. His crime was not severe enough for that. But certainly by spending some time in jail. Zero, utterly confused, cleared his throat. Got what right? "You need a fedora to go with that outfit of yours," Glock said. "Not a sports cap." Zero feigned a chuckle. "Funny. You know why they call me Zero? Do you know why, Glock?" "Listen, I don't have time to chase around idiots who think they can play detective. Either give me the intel or I'll arrest you." "Maybe you're just chasing your own tail," Zero said and laughed. He laughed obnoxiously and uncontrollably. Glock felt like he'd lost the upper hand again. "That's it. I'm arresting you." Zero took a step closer still. "Since you didn't answer my question, I'll tell you why they call me Zero. I was the first, a prototype if you like." "Really?" Glock said, unconvinced. "You're a prototype. You seem pretty real to me." "Don't they all?" Zero replied knowingly. Glock hesitated. Sometimes it was hard to distinguish between artificial people and real people. He relied on his intel and network to get that sort of thing right. He unclipped his gun, unsure of what to make of everything the man was saying. "If you're really a robot, you would never meet with me in an abandoned parking lot like this. Surely you must know who I am." "Who you are?" The man in the coat chuckled again. "Yes, I'm well aware. I am aware of who and what you are, John Glock. But the question is, do you know who I am? Glock felt some terror rising up from within. It no longer seemed like this man was joking. Who are you then? Tell me. Zero stepped into the light and stared at Glock. It took a while for Glock to register what it was that he was seeing. The man in front of him was an exact image of the person he saw every morning in his bathroom mirror. Glock felt a jolt of shock run through him. He nearly stumbled backward, nearly dropped his gun, but he was a sturdy model and caught himself. You're a copy of a copy of a copy, Zero said. I was the first. I am the same as you. Glock lifted his gun to Zero's face, moments before Zero could tell what was going to happen, moments even before emotion could reach his eyes. Glock pulled the trigger and the head of the handsome man spattered into tiny machine pieces. His smile had been smug, but it was gone now. The same as me? Glock mumbled to the lifeless thing on the ground. I think not. Glock proceeded to drag the heavy body to where he'd parked. He loaded the lifeless thing into the trunk of his car. He would have to get rid of it somehow. The best way was to burn it. After another hour and a change of clothes, Glock went to a sandwich at his favorite bar. The rain had stopped and his headache was gone. He was the only customer on account of it being after midnight. The barman behind the counter looked tired. He seemed irritated that someone would order food so late, irritated that he had to make it, and irritated that he wasn't getting paid that much at all. You should enjoy your job, Glock told the man. Why? Do you enjoy your job? Glock smiled. It's the thing that I live for, you could say. It's who I am. The man scoffed and shook his head. We aren't our jobs any more than the birds are the nests that they build. Aren't you somebody's husband or somebody's father? No, Glock said. Then you must be someone's son. Not really, but maybe, if you want to look at it like that. The barman looked at him confused. If you're not somebody's son, or someone's father, or someone's husband, then who are you? Glock sighed. Just a man, really. Just a man. Glock shook out his sports cap, placed it on his head, got up and walked away.